Hey, my name is John, and I'm basically making this video because I'm bored and I ain't got nothing else to do while I drive around and do my job. So I figure I guess I just talk to you about my job. I work for a program that delivers meals to elderly people that can't get out and get the meals themselves, need the meals because they can't find somebody to go get it for them, so I bring it to them. And the way it works is there's a box full of these TV dinners, and along with this box, I give them a bag full of cartons of milk. Now, I love my job. The people are sweet. Don't have hardly any of them that cause me problems, but there are a few issues with the job. And so I thought I'd talk to you about those issues. Now, the first issue with the job that I have starts when I unload the box from the van to take it up to the patient, or not the patient, not really patient, client, probably a client. Anyways, what I have to do is I have to pick the box up, put my hand underneath, take the bag of milk, set it on top. That way I can go up, shut the doors, do what I need to do with the free hand while carrying the other box. Now, the problem starts when I reach, I just said the problem started when I picked everything up. I guess the problem started when I get to the door. See, what happens is as soon as I open the door, or they open the door, whichever comes first, they greet me. And they say, "How are you doing?" To which I say, "Good." To which I also say, "How are you today?" And they say, "Good." So I say, "That's good." That's too many goods for one sentence. That's too many goods. I just don't know what else to say. And then it's awkward because there's silence and neither one of us know what to do because I've just said good about 4 different times and it's like it's the only word I know and I don't have big enough vocabulary to come up with anything. Now, I don't have a large vocabulary, but I definitely have more words in my vocabulary than just good. But anyway, so we get past that, and my hand is still currently underneath the box, holding it up so the people can take it. Now, this is how it is every week. I've been doing it for a year. Well, going on a year. But anyways, when I go to hand them the box, a lot of times it's not necessarily the elderly client themselves, but it's their home worker or whoever that picks the box up. But they proceed to put their hand under the box. Now, if you've paid attention through the rest of this video, my hand's already underneath the box. So we kind of hold hands for a second, I guess. It's I don't know how else to describe it, but they kind of touch it and rub the back of my hand a little bit because they're trying to figure out do I put it on the other side of his hand? What do I do? And so they're just kind of petting the back of my hand for a minute, and it makes me feel uncomfortable. And then I look up and they're looking at me like, what have I done? I've caressed this man's hand. And then they grab it by the sides. They say, "All right, you have a good day." Or I say, "All right, you have a good day." And we both turn around awkwardly and we go our separate ways I go to the van, they go inside their house. It's very traumatic. But it's also traumatic for me because I have OCD, or obsessive compulsive disorder. I don't like to touch people. Well, I don't mind giving my family and stuff a hug. I'm not that into it, I'm not that OCD. But people I don't know what you've done with that hand. You could be wiping your booty or something like that with it. I don't know what you're doing with it, but it's obviously something I don't want to be a part of. Started there a little bit. But anyways, I get back in the van and now I cannot think about anything else but the fact that these people have just caressed the back of my hand and how I cannot touch it to my face or any other part of my body without risking contaminating the rest of me. But by the time I get to the next house, I forget about this whole incident and the whole process starts over again. I don't learn my lesson because I don't know how else to hold the box in an easy manner that allows me to work the van door and their door. So I'm not putting the blame on me. It's on whoever picks up the box because they know that my hand's going to be there. I think they like it. I think they like the fact that my hand's there and they just want to pet the back of my hand for a little while. Another issue that I have with this job is the fact that within the past 2 months, I've recently had a newborn baby son. He's the most beautiful thing that I've ever seen in my life. I love him. But because I do talk to these elderly patients, I love going by their house. I love talking to them. They're extremely nice people. They also know about my new son. So another awkward encounter that I often have is the elderly people asking So when you gonna bring him by to see me? Well, the problem is, I can't remember your last name, so I'm probably not gonna bring my son by. I mean, I might show you a picture because I'm pretty proud of him. You know, he is the most beautiful, wonderful thing that I've ever seen. But if I don't know your last name, Gertrude, I don't really think it's necessary for me to bring him by to you, because on a week-to-week basis, you've called me 3 different names that are nowhere similar to the name that I have. Because if my name's John and you're calling me Roberto, then I don't think we're on the terms of showing each other our children or grandchildren. I just don't know if that's a proper thing we should be doing. So then I commence to say, well, I'm not sure, just whenever I can, I guess. I've just blatantly lied to this old person, so now I have to go home and feel guilty for the rest of the night because I don't want to hurt their feelings, but at the same time, my son's not coming over. So the next week, you would think they'd get the hint because I didn't bring them by. And I'm pretty sure they're joking, but I think a few of them might be being serious. They'll ask the same question, and eventually I'm worried that I might have to tell them that they ain't gonna see him. And since I have had a newborn son within the past 2 months, I have come to a few realizations. When people hear that you're about to have a child, from the moment that they know, they start giving advice. And this advice is pretty generic, and it ranges from make sure you don't buy your diapers all in the same size because they'll grow out of it quick, or make sure you don't buy too many clothes at one time because they're going to grow like a weed, or, you know, make sure that they don't lay down right after eating because they'll spit up. And I thought it was pretty good advice. Another big one that you hear is, if you have a little boy, is make sure you got another diaper ready because he's gonna pee on you. And so when my son was brought into this world, I had all of this advice stored in my head up here. I was thinking about it on a regular basis. I'm nervous. I've never had a son before. He's my first one. And when I get him home, I feel like me and my wife are doing a pretty good job of taking care of him. But soon I realized that there is a lot of things that people do not tell you about when you have a newborn baby. The first major one that I know to talk about is the fact that, yeah, you have to watch out for that pee-pee, you know? You don't want to get it in your face or have them pee on themselves, because it's happened. But a big one is they will also poo-poo all over you without that diaper. They don't warn you about the poop. They want to tell you about the pee-pee because it's a little less embarrassing, like, oh, ha, he's pee-peed on you. But it's a little less funny when you got a massive river of poo-poo on you, you know? And I came to this realization when about a week ago, I went to go change my son's diaper. He had just, he poo-pooed in his pants a little bit. And I went to go change it, and as I took the diaper off, he decided that he's not done, and he let a little fart. Just a little poop. And I think it was like a warning, like, hey, Dad, you might want to put that diaper back up there because I ain't done. I'm still locked and loaded. But I ignored the warning and continued to clean up the mess. And he said, well, I warned you. And he commenced to shoot, not just poop. It wasn't just a poop. He commenced to shoot about, it was a good 3 feet. And you might think I'm lying, but I'm telling the truth. It was a 3-foot stream of duty just directly at me. And so I tried to dodge it, but I got grazed a little bit. I also looked down, and it is on the floor. It has hit the rocking chair behind the changing table. It is on my son's booty again, and it's on my shoes. Which leads to the second thing that they just don't tell you happens when you become a parent. And that is the fact that things that used to bother you before you had a child are just not going to bother you now. Now, I'm not saying that your normal stresses like I need to make more money or I can't pay my bills are not going to apply anymore. You're still going to think about that. And as a matter of fact, those are going to intensify because you do have a small child to take care of at this point. But the things you don't care about anymore is poopy on your shoes or spit up on your shirt is just not a big deal anymore. I have walked around in a pair of shoes with my newborn son's poo-poo on the top of them, not the bottom. This is not a bottom situation where I just think as I walk it'll fall off or something like that. No. It is on the top of my shoe, on the tongue of my shoe, on the laces of my shoe. And I've been walking around like that for a week. And to be honest with you, every time I think about cleaning it off, or I need to get that off of there. I think in the time that I could be doing that, getting something off that's not hurting me whatsoever, I could be either A, playing with my son and enjoying him, or if he is asleep, being asleep also, because you don't get sleep. That part they tell you, and it's true. So things like Dookie, well, animal Dookie's still gonna bother you. I ain't gonna lie to you. Other people's Dookie's gonna bother you, but baby Dookie, that's no big deal anymore. You're just not gonna care anymore. Like I said, pooping on top of my shoe as I talk to you in this moment, and I have no plans on getting it off. And, you know, if I find the time, maybe. If not, maybe it'll come off by itself, or maybe I'll just end up with a new pair of shoes eventually, and then I ain't gotta worry about it no more. So that was the last house that I had to deliver it to, and they touched my hand again. But basically, I made this video. I just said basically again. I said that at the beginning. I don't know how to end or start a video, apparently. It's my first time, so I don't know. Anyways, I'm going back to the center. Made this video because I was bored. Maybe I'll make more. Maybe I won't. Honestly, don't know. It was fun doing it while I was doing it, but it was good knowing you, even though I didn't know you.